Do you comprehend the type of run that Alex Kerfoot is on right now, Rosie? He is now goalless in 19 straight games. He has one goal in the past 28 games, and he played in the top line last night. What'd you make of his effort?
Oh, I can contemplate it. I've gone 28 games without scoring plenty of times. But for a guy like him that's playing with those big boys and he's getting the chances, man, and I mean, when you haven't scored in a while and you get that chance that you should bury, it's like slow motion and your eyes get big and you really kind of grip it a little bit. And I mean, this is me talking, so this is obvious, but when a guy like him's doing it and getting chance after chance, you'd think he'd just pot one, and guys get snake bitten all the time. Some of the best players in the world go through it. But I mean, geez, for a guy like that to get those many looks and to just not be able to finish, you just gotta bear down and finish one of them. And he's probably bearing down too much and it's just not going in. He's snake bitten, but he's definitely getting the opportunity last night. And I mean, what a good story it would be for him to get on a roll here and get the monkey off his bat, for him to pot one last night and just, again, couldn't bloody do it, which I'm sure he's as frustrated as anybody. But yeah, when you get a look like that, it would have been a nice story, but he cannot finish to the back of the net.
There's snake bitten, then there's Alex Kerfoot. Like you could even tell early on, it just wasn't again going to be his night. He had a fantastic opportunity, I think, on the first ship set up, and he missed the net by about 17 feet. And I actually tweeted out Michael Bunting probably scores that one. We did see Bunting score, so he responds. I mean, to your point yesterday as well, maybe they just know what buttons to push with Bunting. I thought it was one of his better games, but I'm at wit's end. Like, I know it's only been a couple games and a couple shifts, but I do not want to see any more of Kerfoot with Matthews and Marner. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, he's not a guy that should be there. I mean, the skill and the mindset of those two players beside him are beyond him, and I think that he'd be the first one to admit that he's not a top handful of players in the NHL. But when you got to get to the open ice and get that puck, you got to finish it, and you got to find those guys when you have the puck and get the puck in their hands. And I mean, they had chances and whatnot. He's not the worst guy in the world to be on there by any stretch of the imagination, but when he's just hasn't scored in so long and it's wearing on his mind and it's on his back, and I'm sure he's gripping his stick a little bit, it definitely makes it that much harder. I don't think he's going to be there forever. We're not going to start the playoffs with that opening face-off being those three guys right there together, but I don't know. I don't put a lot of stock into it. I think a guy like him can easily just shake the monkey off his back. He's good with depth. He can play a little bit and get some offense going. He's just really, really snake bitten right now. I don't think I'm as concerned as you are, but it is getting frustrating having to see his chances just go by the wayside constantly.
I don't think you heard what I said. He's got 19 games in a row. He hasn't scored a goal and 1 in 28. Like that's
I don't
some
think you heard
impressive
what I
stuff.
said. That's normal for elite players.
I don't know. Matthews scores like every third game. Nylander scores every game. Marner scores every third game. Fuck,
Kerfoot's
Camp
not
scored
those
more than
guys.
this guy.
Kerfoot's not
Camp
those
scored.
guys.
Yeah, well, I know. Then you're in trouble. If it's Austin Matthews scoring 1 in 28, you're in trouble big time. But
Oh yeah.
no doubt about it, Kerfoot has to be an X factor for this team. Very like Nick Paul, like or Brandon Hagel type for this team to do something substantial coming up in the spring.